Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Now then, from what I understand, there are very few tutorials floating around for this great David Gilmour solo from the final cut. So I figured that I would learn it and show you guys how to play it. This is one of David's heaviest and most aggressive guitar solos, and it sadly tends to get overlooked quite a bit, as it's from arguably Pink Floyd's least popular album, that album being, of course, the final cut, aka Roger Waters' first solo album. Doesn't take away from the fact that it's a damn fine David Gilmour guitar solo, and the closest you're ever going to get to hard rock Gilmour solo. It's also great fun to play with lots of slick whammy bar work to keep your right hand busy. Regardless, let's get started with this one, shall we? We are in standard tuning for this tutorial. Going to run through the solo first at a nice relaxed pace, and then we'll dig into how to play it. Good then, so we are working in the key of E minor, and we're using the E Dorian for this one, and I'm going to show you that first before we dig into the solo. Starting here on the root note, the 14th fret of the D string, at the 12th fret position, that box right there, right? 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 14, 15, 12, 14, 15. That is the Dorian mode. And we're going to be starting right in that box with this. 15th fret, all going on here on the 12 15s of the B and the high E. Starts with a little pull off from 15 to 12, right into a bend at 15. Going to release that bend off to 12, then you're going to go right back into another bend at 15. Grab the 15 of the high E with your pinky, right back to the bend on the B string. So that's the opening of the solo. It's probably best to have the bar in your hand at this point. If you do not have a bar, you're going to have a hard time playing the solo, getting it to sound exact, because there's a lot of whammy bar work going on in this one. And then we're into this. Lots of crafty whammy bar work going on here. So pull off 15 to 12, back onto 15, and then drop the bar. Kind of like that, right? As you have the bar depressed, then you're going to do a hammer on from 12 to 15, back to 12. Kind of like that. Right? Kind of as you're releasing the bar, you do the hammer on. And then you're going to drop the bar again when you get back to the 12. Then you're going to grab the 14th fret of the G string, give it a full step bend. As you have it bent, a little dip of the bar. And then release it off to 12, and then 14 of the D string. Right? So that's that lick. And then we're into this. So a couple of mutes, a little down up mute. Down, you're kind of just holding a bar here at the 12th fret. You're going to grab the 12th fret of the B string up to the 12 of the G, kind of like that, right? And then a double stop from 12 to 14 back to 12. And then you're going to drop the bar. When you get it down about a half step, you're going to choke the note off. Kind of like that, right? So that's the opening of the solo. Right? And then we're into this. Sorry, I need my bar. You need your bar in your hand the whole time. So 12, 15 again of the B string. So start on the 12, pull off 15 to 12, back to 15. And then give 3 or 4 little whammy bar dips, right? Right there. And then you're going to go 12, 15 of the high E. Double bend on the 15 here. The first one's a full step, the second one's a half step. Right there, into this. All on the 12, 15s. Bend, pull off, back on the 15. And whammy bar again, right? And then we're going to drop into this. Just a little scale run right down the Dorian. Finishing on the 7-9 of the G. So you're going 15, 12, 14. 14 back to 12. And then you're going to finish it, the rest of this scale run, all in the G string. Right, just going right down the Dorian. This little 2-note pattern. So, you know, that double bend there, first one full step, second one half step. Very staccato, those notes in that scale run. Now at this point, he kind of pulls that 9 off to 7, and then just kind of off to the open strings, and then dips the bar. It's very noisy at this point, really hard to hear exactly what he's doing, but I do this, and it sounds really good. I just kind of pull off to 7, then pull off to the open G, and then drop the bar, right? And then we're into this. So it starts on the 4 of the G string full step bend. You're going to release that off to 2, back to 4, slide into 7. And then we're going to go 4, 7 bend. Another full step bend. And then we're going to go 7, 6 onto 9 into a bend. Just like that, right? And then we're going to go 9, 11, little half step bend release. Kind of like that. Back onto 11, slide into 14. And that ends the little descending run. Give that a little whammy bar vibrato. And then we're into this. More bar, right? 14, 12, 15 of the B. And then the second time you're going to do another bend at 14 and then ride down the 12s, finishing on the 15 of the B. And you're going to release that 15 off to 12 right into a full step bend at 14. And then you're just going to let that hang for a couple of measures, right? That bend. You're going to release it, rebend it, back to the 15, 12, 15 of the B again. Release that off to 12, back onto 14. And then play that, which is very similar to what we did at the very beginning of the solo. Release the bend off to 12, back onto 14. Drop the bar. Do another little hammer on 12, 14, back to 12 as you're releasing the bar. When you get back to 12, drop the bar again, finish on the 14 of the G. Right? From the ascending little run on the G string. And finishing the solo with this. So we're going to grab the second fret of the G string, we're going to do like 6 or 7 bends. Actually 5 bends. And the 5th one you're going to pull off to open. Second fret of the D string, pull it off to open, dive the bar. When you get it down about a half step, you're going to choke it off. And that's the end of the solo. So let's take it right from the top, nice and slow, and then we'll be done. And there you have it, my friends. That is how you play the solo to Not Now John by David Gilmour and Pink Floyd. Certainly hope you found that helpful and accurate. I think it's pretty darn close. And hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.